As dewy dawn gives way to early morn, the sun's first rays shine their blessings on a land long receptive to it. Over the eons, searchers of truth and seekers of the divine have found inspiration and encouragement here. For in India, there are books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. This land of the starkest contrasts celebrates many truths and multiple roots to them. Daybreak is not just the time to wake, but a chance to rise, to salute the sun and celebrate the divine. And so yogis of all castes and creeds unite body and mind, spirit and soul through the ancient discipline of yoga that's taken the world by storm. Connecting the inner self to a cosmic consciousness starts young in India.
We try to see education as 3 H's. Head, sure enough, bright head, very important, but not limited to that. It should go on for skilled hands, children who can do things, who can grow things, who can manage things. And thirdly, and most importantly, a kind heart, people who can feel for others and feel for the whole planet rather than just selves.
Pioneering the idea of education with experience is Sekmol Eco School, whose location in the fragile cold deserts of Ladakh informs every aspect of school life. Its students have helped build the low-cost sustainable school and run its green farms and solar energy systems. With volunteers from across the world, Sekmol is a little country in itself, one where students are citizens with rights and responsibilities.
And this is how we would like them to grow up, learning real things from real people to give a real leadership to the world of 21st century.
Sekmol is just one of India's many experiments in education that have led to the quadrupling of literacy rates since independence. Today, 97% of all Indian children are enrolled in school, a number that rivals the population of Western Europe in size. With the 3rd largest population of university students, higher education too has come of age. Creativity flowers at a range of film, design and performing arts schools. Future business barons come out of the Indian Institutes of Management, reputedly the toughest B school in the world to get into. And little needs to be said about the famed IITs, an institution whose alumni are said to have created $450 billion worth of economic value and 20 million new jobs. And ready, willing and able to follow in their footsteps are a generation of new graduates who dream of becoming so much more.
Scientist,
astronaut, designer,
rocket scientist,
photographer, number cruncher, yeah.
No longer confined to pure science, India's generation now thrives on the crossroads of science and design, creating things you never knew you needed.
The number of people at that age bracket right now who are willing to experiment with their lives and do something that's new is really big. Access to funds has increased, the government is suddenly supporting Startup India, Make in India, and all of these programs that are coming out.
There's never been a better time to start up. And I think India is at a point where the system will actually give way to a bigger ecosystem of starting up and building great companies.
Following in the path blazed by Indian giants like Tata, Reliance, Infosys and Wipro, a generation of engineers and entrepreneurs are creating companies that are taking the world by storm. New Delhi-based restaurant review startup Zomato has expanded to 62 million users in 23 countries. Like them, Bangalore-based Ola's taxi app has seen phenomenal growth, delivering real-world services and benefits to users and entrepreneurs.
मैं पहले जॉब करती थी, मैं एक MBA मार्केटिंग हूँ। मैं हमेशा सोचती थी कि मैं अपना खुद का कुछ काम करना चाहती हूँ। सबसे पहले तो सबने ये बोला कि ये मेरे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है, बिकॉज आप 3 गाड़ियाँ कैसे संभालोगे, अ लेडी कांट बी आउट फॉर द डे। इट फील्स रियली गुड टू हैव माई ओन कार्स। मुझे किसी के ऊपर डिपेंड होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है पैसों के लिए।
Breaking technological frontiers, empowering entrepreneurs, building tomorrow today. Innovation has come to stay.
India's economy is definitely one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and I think that it's just getting started.
Surging, speeding, streaking ahead, India, the world's 7th largest economy, is also its fastest growing large economy.
We are no longer a country of snake charmers and elephants and things like that. We are rapidly moving into a very modern India.
Supporting this growth is a massive investment in infrastructure. Whether it's the world's first solar-powered airport or its largest elevated metro, the highest rail bridge, or 100 smart cities, infrastructure allows the benefits of development to reach everyone. India today also has the 2nd largest telecommunications network and the 3rd largest internet user base in the world. As the nation heads towards a cashless society, e-wallet services like Paytm are helping bridge the urban-rural divide and setting the stage for a nationwide digital revolution.
It's a lot of change, and you can see it on the ground. You can see today the consumption patterns have changed. You know, the number of credit cards, the number of mobile phones, the number of automobiles, all of that is going through a huge surge in the economy.
With growth fueled by domestic consumption, India's success story has proven largely immune to global downturns. Today, homegrown giants in the fields of iron and steel, oil exploration, shipping, automobiles, telecom and electronics have become global players. This new strength in high-value manufacturing, combined with a booming service sector and excellence in traditional industries like textiles, leather, jewelry and handicrafts, is the hallmark of a highly diversified economy that will become the world's 3rd largest by 2050. Long celebrated for its spices and silks, cottons and indigos, Indian agriculture has built on its strengths and has given birth to the green and white revolutions. One of the largest producers of agricultural products in the world, Indian farmers are now constantly striving to go green and grow organic.
ये कुदरती खेती देखी सी छोटा बच्चा हमने हमारे माँ बाप करते थे ना, तो उसमें बाजार की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती थी, सारा सब कुछ ही अपना होता था। तो खाद नहीं डालते थे, कीटनाशक आता ही नहीं था और बीज अपना होता था। हमारे मन में है हम भी ऐसी खेती शुरू करेंगे, किसी की ज़रूरत ना पड़े हमको। ऑर्गेनिक जो खेती है ये तो ये सफल खेती है, क्योंकि इसका इतिहास है 10,000 साल का। रासायनिक खेती का इतिहास है 40 साल का। हम 10,000 साल को छम नहीं।
Matching the yields from conventional farming while giving the earth the nurturing it gets from traditional farming is no easy task. Luckily, these farmers have some very special help.
जब हम खेत से जुड़ते हैं ना, तब खेत की मिट्टी बात करती है हमारे से, खेत का पौधा बात करता है, बीज बताता है कि कब लगाना है हमको, कहाँ लगाना है। ये सभी ज्ञान खेत से आ जाते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है। जब ये खेती करते हैं सर्वत्र का भला हो जाता है।
भारत में कृषि जीवन शैली है। भारत में कृषि आजीविका की बात है, पैसा कमाने वाली बात नहीं है। इसीलिए किसान जब बीज डालता था वो पक्षियों के लिए, चींटियों के लिए, राहगीरों के लिए, अतिथियों के लिए, अज्ञात लोगों के लिए, सबके लिए बीज डालता था। इसीलिए भगवान का स्वरूप माना गया था किसान।
Turning mud and manure into green gold is a labor of love, a farmer's gift of fresh harvests and delicious meals. Life in India is a celebration of the simple made sublime. And so, a midday meal here isn't just a pit stop to rest and refuel, but a chance to connect to centuries long gone and cultures going strong. Full of spice, seasoned to delight, food in India is a treat for the senses. After all, combining a culinary tradition stretching back millennia with a willingness to accept, adapt and adopt the foods of migrants and monks, traders and invaders gives Indian food mind-boggling diversity and finger-licking flavor.
हिंदुस्तान तो मसालों का देश है और इसी जैसे कहानियाँ मसालेदार यहाँ चाहिए होती है वैसे खाना मसालेदार चाहिए होता है और कोई भी चीज़ होती है वो अति पे चाहिए होती है। अगर मीठा है तो बहुत मीठा चाहिए होता है, तीखा है तो आंखों में से पानी निकालने वाला तीखा चाहिए होता है। पूरी दुनिया है जो है वो जीने के लिए खाना खाती है और हिंदुस्तानी जो है वो खाने के लिए जीते हैं।
With nearly 20 regional food traditions and countless local variations, food in India is an endless permutation of flavor and texture.
You see that in the Indian thali, there are different dishes being served to you. A new dish emerges every day. It's put in different cups. You can decide what you want to eat. You can decide what you don't want to eat. You can then mix it to your own needs so that while the plate is standardized for all of us, the experience of eating and what you actually taste is highly, highly customized.
This freedom to choose what's best for you extends to all aspects of life in India. This, the oldest living civilization on earth, has thrived by making space for new ideas and serving as a safe haven for people from other cultures and countries. Parsis and Iranis, African Siddhis and Syrian Christians, Jews and Chinese are just a few of the communities who've enlivened the mosaic of India without having to give up their identity.
I used to ask my mother why my name is so and so, from where we came from. So my mother used to tell me all the little bit of history and all this, talking about China, this and that. My grandfather had come before the Second World War. He had come down to India. I can understand Marathi, I can understand Gujarati. So like that, I got a lot of friends in different walks of life. India is a country of God because this land is very holy. So that's why we say food, egg. It's a land of God.
Sages and sadhus, priests and preachers, gurus and teachers. India has long delved beyond the physical and into the metaphysical. The quest for truth takes many forms and more routes, all of which are followed with dedication and devotion. And this bewildering array of religion gives India one of its most beloved traditions, festivals. Whether it's painting the earth in colors of the rainbow at Holi or lighting the Diwali night with starlight, remembering the Guru or celebrating the Prophet, no religion has a monopoly on festivity. For after all, joy is the birthright of every community.
There are many Hinduisms in India, there are many Islams in India, there are many Christianities in India. It's a complex diversity. The diversity is in politics, in economics, in language, in customs, in religious faith, in beliefs. This complexity, nobody can even comprehend.
Out of the depths of complexity spring simple, sublime truths. In a land given to philosophy, some of our greatest thinkers, be it Tagore or Ambedkar, Swami Vivekanand or Mahatma Gandhi, have stressed one truth above all, that being Indian means respecting, indeed celebrating our differences, and so unity in diversity has become India's theme. With nearly 800 languages spoken, all the world's major religions represented, citizens that comprise both ancient tribes and people surfing the information superhighway, the Indian instinct is not to homogenize, but to allow space for all.
So the approach to diversity in India has been very different, which is continuously respecting other people's truth. It's not about trying to go towards one truth, but celebrating the other person's truth.
In a land where the taste of water is said to change every 3 kilometers and the dialect every 20, where faces change and races mingle, the only way to run a country is to give everyone a voice and a stake in running it. India's elections, the world's largest, are an incredible logistical exercise undertaken by more than 11 million workers, backed by electronic voter machines and indelible ink. In a world where 3 billion people are denied the vote and a third of all countries are autocratic, the exuberance of 1 billion Indians going out to vote is both inspirational and infectious.
मतदान करना अधिकार है। पहले अनपढ़ होते थे, बाहर इतने निकल नहीं पाते थे। अब तो देश में लिखे पढ़े हैं, सब बाहर निकल के ही पता लगेगा। इसलिए जो मतदान है वो हमारा अधिकार है। हम अपनी खुशी से मतदान करेंगे।
Living proof that people can put aside divisions of race and religion, language and ethnicity to come together as one country. Where centuries collide and history meets legend, where the world unites and nature beckons. India, where hospitality isn't just tradition, but akin to religion. Where architecture astounds and stones become poems, here you experience the world's most beautiful building as well as the most sensual. Whether it's spectacular cave architecture carved out of living rock or the incredible range of architectural traditions, there's something to delight you at every turn.
The architecture is second to none. To even imagine that they actually built that stuff with chisel and hammer it's beyond anything I could think of. Incredible, incredible.
And I would love to come back to India because we only got to do a little bit of New Delhi, a little bit of Kashmir. I know there's a whole world of India out there ready for us to explore.
One little known aspect of this world that tourists are increasingly exploring is wellness and medicine. Whether it's the holistic healing of Ayurveda, the oldest known medicinal system in the world, or its high-tech modern counterpart, people from across the globe are flocking to India.
In the last 5 to 7 years, there's been a sea change in technology, in talent, and in skill. And as a consequence of which, I think that India is becoming one of the places to go to for premier quality healthcare.
With highly trained doctors and nurses sought after across the world and inexpensive infrastructure, India has emerged as a low-cost, high-value treatment destination.
There are patients who are coming here for cardiac care, because I think that the cardiac care delivery system in India is extremely top-notch. But I think the main thrust of the international tourism for healthcare in India is related to orthopedics, joint replacement and spinal surgery.
India increasingly attracts patients from developed countries like the US, Russia, the Gulf and Western Europe, who don't see any drop in quality. And affordable procedures means that India is a ray of hope for patients from Africa and Central Asia.
International companies are all now vying to get into this country, and I think as a consequence, there is no looking back, there's only looking forward and moving forward.
If the future of medicine shines bright, the potential of medical research is boundless. Indian pharmaceutical companies have reverse-engineered costly medicines, creating a $1 a day HIV drug, an initiative hailed by the UN, as well as low-cost cancer drugs and hepatitis B vaccines that saved countless lives the world over. Indian biotech giants like Biocon and Panacea operate in over 60 countries, while the Serum Institute supplies vital vaccines to more than 100 countries worldwide. Striving for the stars and getting there is also the hallmark of ISRO, India's space research organization. Mangalyaan, its Mars mission, and Navik, its satellite-based navigation system, have excited the global imagination and reinforced the country's credentials to be a major research and innovation hub. As the sun sets and the stars rise, a generation of Indians come out to celebrate in a million ways. Ancient traditions, unchanged for centuries, have transformed themselves, keeping pace with an India on the move. With 12 classical and 24 folk traditions, dance in India is primarily a retelling of epics and myths, stories and legends.
In India, all our understanding of our culture comes from the oral traditions. Tradition has been passed on from generation to generation through stories and through songs. And that's primarily the source of Indian culture.
Audiences here are primed to accept stories with their dances, which perhaps explains the enduring popularity of Bollywood's song and dance routines. The madness of movies is infectious, a celebration of life. Bollywood reflects India in all her colors. Movies in India are made in over 30 languages. One of the few film industries to withstand the onslaught of Hollywood, Indian cinema not just survives, but thrives around the world. In a land where even time repeats itself, day's break is not day's end, but the rise of a new dawn. Every dawn reveals India anew. Yet, it has been the same for centuries. Its sights and colors immerse you in diversity. Even the darkness is magical. It has been the same for centuries. Yet, each morning, India reveals itself anew.